Hello everyone, welcome to the next lecture on the PY question series. Today I will explain you the part 2 of the group theory, and in this lecture I will cover the class equation. Myself Dr. Harish Garg. You can follow my YouTube channel where you can find the playlist of CSIR UGC net. In this playlist you can find the various lectures, and the part 1 on the group theory is available here. All these lecture I have explained with the help of the shortcuts. The objective of this lecture is how you can write the conjugate classes, how you can find the class equation of the finite group. If you are aware, if I say group of order is 7 or group of order is 12, how you can write the class equation. If your first expression about seeing the class equation question is of how we can solve that is a very time consuming, then believe me, you are in the right channel. Then I will tell you how you can transform your of to the wa. I'm very sure that once you are watching this video till the end, you will itself say in the comment box, yes, wow, what an approach, sir, that we can now solve the each problem of the class equation with the help of 10 to 15 second time period. And make sure what you have to do, you have to only like, subscribe and comment on my video. The day of happiness is only when you can solve each equation with the help of the 10 to 15 second time periods. If you are unable to solve them, that means the day of happiness will not be there. And believe me, at the end of this video, you will be happy after watching this video very much. Now, but don't forget to like and comment on this video along with this happiness. Let's say group any group of the finite order n can be the p cube and can be the 2 of p where p is the prime number and any of these things. So I will explain you the various shortcut tricks how you can solve these problems. But before that, if you are new to my YouTube video, you can scan and join my WhatsApp group for the various discussions. Now, all of you know that what is the class equation. If you have the finite group G, center Z of G, then this equation, that is equation number 1, is called as the class equation, where this is called as the order of the group, center of the order of the center of group. These are my conjugate classes. But can you use this equation and solve this question in the 10 to 15 second time period? If I give you the 30 second, can you find the center quickly? Can you find the conjugate classes of the group 10? Or can you, now in this question you can see all are my different order. Can you solve this question in the 10 second based on these equations? You never will do, because you have to find the center of the group, you have to find the classes, conjugate classes of these all options. Then what you will do? Definitely you will be look like say cry, or you will be very disappointed and you will say, oh, it's a very difficult topic. But believe me, it is one of the easiest topic. I will teach you. But before that, before I will teach you, don't cry. Don't cry to use this method. Don't use this method. I will tell you how you can solve this class equation within the 10 seconds. I will teach you again how you can find the class equation with a free of cost. If you remember my this last lecture on the group theory, I already told you the many shortcut tricks. In this lecture also, I will teach you the free of cost on this class equation. But before that, you have to smile, please. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. You can also share this video with your friend. So let's see. What is the objective is, if you have the group of order n can be anything, like it can be the 4, it can be the 10, it can be the 8, or it can be anything. So whenever you have a group of order n, so first case is, the first shortcut trick is, whenever you have the group of order p cube, that means order of group 8, order is 27, it is a 3 cube. 64, it is not possible because it is the 4 cube, but 4 is not a prime number. Fine. So that means we are talking about the 8, 27, 125 and so on. How you can write this class equation? That's a very simple. The order of the group is, you have to write 1 plus 1 plus 1. How many times? That is a p times. And you have to write as a p plus p plus p. How many times? P square minus 1 times. For example, look at that. Can you write this is my 2 cube? Then what is my p? P is my 2. So therefore, what is the class equation of the 8? I have to written 1 how many times? P times. How many times I have to written as a 2? P square minus 1. 4 minus 1, 3 times. So that is the class equation of the 8. How many seconds you are needed? Similarly, can you write the class equation quickly? So 27, how many right you have to read it? 1, because P is my 3. So that is the 3 times. And you have to written 3 how many times? P square minus 1, 9 minus 1, 8. So you have to return this number is 8 times. So that is the class equation. So how many seconds you are needed? 10 seconds you are needed to solve the problem. Another one, group of order 2p. Fine. So then, like group of order 14, I can return this is 2 into 7, where 7 is my odd prime number. Group of order 6, I can return this 6 is also 2 into 3. 3 is my prime number. But can you write the group of order 12? 12 is my 2 into 6, but 6 is not a odd prime. Fine, so this is not possible. Then it's very simple. Once you are written here, you can look at this quantity. It must be divided because p is my odd number, p minus 1 is even number. Then you can write this equation is 1 plus p plus repeat this number how many times? Whatever the quotient of this. If you divide them, whatever the answer you have written, that will be written this quantity. I will explain you. For example, here 2 into 7 and 2 divides 7 minus 1, 6. So what is the group of order? I can written as a 1 plus 7 plus what is the quotient of this? If you divide them, answer is 3. So that means you have to return this quantity 2 how many times? 3 times. That's the meaning of this quantity. Similarly, can you write this quantity 2 into 5? Again, you can see 2 divides 5 minus 1. So the group of order 10 is written as 1 plus largest prime number plus how many times you have written this quantity? 2 times, because the quotient is divisible by is 2. So 1 plus 5 plus 2, 2. Third shortcut tricks. Whenever you have a group of order PQ and P doesn't divide Q minus 4. Fine. So all of you know that if P doesn't divide Q minus 1, then we will call as the cyclic group and it implies abelian group. If P divides Q minus 1, then it may abelian group or non-abelian. Fine. So now the first case is when P divides Q minus 1. Then again the same rule as I told you in this case. What is the class equation you can write at? 1 plus the largest prime number Q. You have to return Q how many times? P minus 1 times. Fine. And how many times you have to return P? The same, whatever the quotient you have obtained. For example, forget about this, I will tell you the simplest way. You can see 2 into 5 and 2 divides 4. Fine. So now this rule I can also written as a 2 into P. P is a prime. So this quantity is 1 plus I have to return this 5 how many times? P minus 1, that is only 1 times. And this quantity 2, what is the quotient of this is 2. Fine. Look at this another one. It is my, again you can return this is by the second formula, that's a 2 into P. P is my prime. But 3 into 7. 3 divides 6. Fine. So I can return the 21 is 1. How many times you have to return 7 is? 3 minus 1, 2 times. I have written 7 is a 2 times. What is the quotient of this is? 2. I have to return 3 how many times? This is how many times? So 3 I have written as a 2 times. So look at this one. 3 divides 4. It is not possible. 3 doesn't divide 4. That means this formula you can't use to write the class equation. Second method, third method. If G is my abelian group, or if you say any of the group is my cyclic, this cyclic is my abelian. Fine. then the class equation is always my unique. What is that unique is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. How many times? N number of the times. So remember, whenever you have a group, if P divides Q minus 1 or P doesn't divide Q minus 1. If it is doesn't divides, then it's a abelian. If it is abelian, then you have a unique class equation, that is a 1 1 1. If it doesn't, if divides P Q minus 1, we call as a abelian, or second is non-abelian. If it is abelian, then the class equation is again 1 1 1. If it is a non-abelian, then we can use as the previous one. For example, here 15 I can written as a 3 into 5. 3 doesn't divide 4. So the class equation will be, is a unique. How many times you have to written 1 is 15 times. And similarly for the 35, 5 doesn't divide 6. So you have written as a 35 number of the times. The last concept, how you can write the dihedral group. Order of dihedral group is 2n. That n, it may be even, or that n may be odd. So based on these two nature, firstly I can define for the even. Like you can see 2, 4 and any of the group of 12. You can see, first of all you can see about the 4. 4 I can written as a 2 square, which is of the form p square. So p square is my abelian. Any group of order p square is abelian. So once it is abelian, you can also write the unique class equation as a 1 1 1. Fine. This is the 8. I already defined you the 8 is my p cube nature. Fine. So I can write this 8 is how many times you have written 1 is 2 times, and how many times you have written p square minus 1, that is my 2 times. Fine. This is the method we have told you earlier. But now if n is my even number, how you can define the class equation? Again, the order is, I can, if it is even, you have to write 1 as a 2 times, plus half of the n is again 2 times, plus the remaining is 2. How many times you will write as a 2? That will be on n minus 2 over 2. Or you can say if 2 divides n minus 2, whatever the quotient you have written, that will be repeated of this n minus, that will be repeated of this 2. For example, this 2 I can written as a 2 into n. So n is my 2. I can written this is 1 plus 1 n over 2 n over 2. Fine. So if 2 divides n minus 2, that's a 0. It doesn't divide, so that component will not be happening. So you can see abelian group is a uniqueness. You can see about the 8, 2 into 4. 4 is my even number. Fine. So how you can write that? 1 plus 1 plus 4 by 2, 4 by 2, plus how many times you have written 2? 2 divides n minus 2. 4 minus 2 is, so that's a 1. So you have to return this quantity to how many times? 1 times. Fine. So 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2. Similarly, how you can write as a 2 into 6? 6 is my even number. So I can return is 1 plus 1, 6 over 2, 6 over 2. So 2 divides n minus 6 minus 2, 4. That is my 2. So you have to repeat this number 2 how many times? 2 times. So that is my 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. If n is my odd number, that's again the same quantity. There is no need to remember this. If you divide this quantity, and you can see 2 into 3. So I can write this number is, and 2 divides my 2, quotient is 1. You can repeat this quantity how many times? N minus 1 times. 2 minus 1 is my 1. And this number is repeated as a 2 times. Or otherwise you can use this form. Okay. Now, based on these shortcut tricks, can you solve this question with the help of the 10 to 15 second time period? Definitely you can, you will be. But what will happen, because as I told you, the 7 shortcut tricks, but what will happen if in the examination you will forget those shortcut tricks? Then your confidence will be low, you are disappointed, and you will be crying. But believe me, you are in my YouTube channel. Don't be cry. Again, I will tell you the shortcut tricks, how you can solve this without remembering this shortcut formula. Only thing is you have to always smile. Make sure you have to like, comment and share this video as well. Okay, look at that. First, there are various shortcut tricks for you. The first shortcut tricks, look at the each element of the group of the class equation. Each element of the class equation like 1, 2, 5, 2, 3, 4, 1 and so on. Each element of the group, each element of the class equation must divide the order of the group. Look at that. 1 divides 10, fine. 2 divides 10, fine. 5 divides 10, fine. 2 divides 10, fine, but 3 doesn't divide 10. So that means this is not the class equation. Fine. 2 divides 10, 5 divides 10, all are divisible. And my target is also to find the cannot be. So yes, this option is the correct option. Second one, count the number of the ones. Count the number of the ones and it must divide the order of G. How many you can see about this? Let me clear this screen. Look at the how many ones in this case. This is my 3. 3 divides 10. No. So this is not the class equation. 1. 1 divides the 10. Yes, fine. 2. 2 divides the 10. Fine. So this may or may not be the class equation. Fine. Third equation. If this equation divides and whatever the group of order, whatever the number you have obtained, say P, if this is my prime, then you can say this is my abelian. Once this is a abelian, then the class equation will always be 1 plus 1 plus 1. So now you can see 1 divides the 10. What is the answer is 10, which is not a prime. We can't say anything. 2 divides the 10. The number is 5. The 5 is prime. If it is a prime, that means this is my cyclic group of order 5 is cyclic. That means it is my abelian. So once this is abelian, what will be the class equation? 1 plus 1 plus 1. So that option is not the class equation, is also satisfied. Fine. Now another concept. What is the logic there? If you want to find the logic, okay. Another tip says the number of the ones. If you find the number of the ones in the class equation, that will be my order of the center of the group. If somebody will ask you what is the order of the center of the group, 3, 1, 1 and 2. And we all know the order group divided by center of the group. If this is my prime, that means this is my cyclic. Fine. If order of the group divided by the order of the center is cyclic, that means G is my abelian. Fine. The same rule I have applied. Prime, that's a cyclic, that means abelian. Now, so now only the third option is left. Now you can see about that. 10. 10 I can factorize this as a 2 into 5. Fine. And 2 divides the 5 minus 1, 4. That means it is either as a abelian or a non-abelian. If it is abelian, what will be the class equation? 1 plus 1 plus 1, how many times? 10 times. Fine. And if it is not abelian, then how you can write that? It's a prime number. You have to 1 plus 5 times. How many times you have to written 5? P minus 1. That's a 1 times. How many times? What is the quotient of this is? 2. You have to write this quantity 2 how many times? 2 times. So 1 plus 2 plus 2. So that means a group of order 10 has only 2 class equation, either 1 1 1 1 or 1 plus 5 plus 2 and 2. Yes, this is the right answer, but we need a cannot. So this option is cancelled. Right answers are A, B and D are the correct answers. Fine. So don't remember, if you don't remember the shortcut tricks, just remember this. What are my shortcut tricks for you? First of all, each element of the class equation must divide the order of the group. Fine. Second, count the number of the ones. It must divide the order of the group. If it divides, if it is a prime, then it is a abelian. If it is a abelian, then the class equation is only 1, 1, 1. These are the options. These are the tricks which you can discard them. Don't use them for the correct option, only for the discard the option. Okay, look at that. This, you can see that I have not used the class equation. Look at that. 1 divides 10, 2 divides 10, 5 divides 10. 1 divides 3. 3 doesn't divide 8. So this is not the class equation. We also need cannot be. 1 divides, 2 divides, 3 divides. Count the number of the ones. Number of the ones is 3. 3 doesn't divide 10. So this is not the class equation. Count the numbers. 2. 2 divides 4. Yes. 1. What is the division of this? 2. And 2 is my prime number. So it's a prime. That means it is my abelian. So once is abelian, your class equation will only be 1 plus 1 plus 1 4 times. So this is not the class equation. Second method, how you can check about this 4? I can return this number is my p square. Fine. Every group of order p square is my abelian. So that means the class equation is again 1 plus 1 plus 1. So this option is also cancelled. Look at the last option, 6. 6 I can return as a 2 into 3. Fine. And 2 divides 3 minus 1. So you have the two options. One is the abelian, second is the non-abelian. So that means if it is a abelian, the class equation is the unique. That will be the 6 times. If it is a non-abelian, then you have to write this quantity as 1 plus how many times? 3. How many times you have written? 2 minus 1 time. That's the 1 time. What is the quotient is? 1. So you have to repeat this quantity 2 how many times? 1 time. So yes, this is the correct answer. But we need a cannot. So the right option is A, B, C are the right answers. Which of the following equation is the class equation? There is a difference between the questions. You can see in this question they are talking about the can. In the first equation they are also talking about the can. Fine. Again, first of all, fourth option, is it the class equation? No, because 3 doesn't divide 8. 4 I can return as a prime. So that is not the class equation. Or number of the ones are my 2. 2 divides 4, which is my prime. So it is a abelian. Number of the ones are my 3. 3 doesn't divide the 10. This is not. If you think about that, this 6, as I told you, I can return 2 into 3 and 2 divides 2. That means you have the two class equation. One is a abelian, 1 into 1, and this is 1 plus 3 plus 2. This is the same I have explained. If you think about that, this option is the right option, then you are wrong, because they are talking about the is. Is there any, if I talk about the any of the group which is a cyclic of order 6, then your group will be 6. But they're not talking about which one is a group, either the S3 or the Z6. They're not talking about that. Fine. So that means this is not only the 6th class equation. This is also the possible. So that's why this is the cancel. So right option is none of this is the. So that's why the word, if it is written as a can, so then the fourth option is the right option. Which of the following equations are the class equations? So now you can see about the third. First of all, any number which is not divisible, 2 you can see 2 doesn't divide 15. So this option is cancelled. Fine. 3 divides, 7 divides, 1 and 2 divides, 3 and also. You can also discard 15 by the another way. 3 into 5. So 3 doesn't divide 4 minus 1. That means the group is my cyclic. If group is cyclic, that means this group is my abelian. So if group is abelian, the only class equation will be my 1, 1, 1. How many times? 15 times. Now, 21. 21 I can return as a 3 into 7. So 3 divides 6. You have the two option. One is abelian group. You have to return as a 21 times. Other one you have to return 1. How many times you have to return a prime number 7? 3 minus 1 times. That is 2 times. 7 plus 7. What is the quotient of this is 2. How many times you have repeated 3 as a 2 times? So 1 plus 7, 7, 3, 3. Yes, this is the one of the possible way. You can see only the two class equation will be there, either 111 or 777. 7733. Look at the second option, 14. 14 I can written as a 2 into 7. Also you can see 2 divides 7 minus 1. So yes, so again you have the two class equation, either 111 plus 1, that's the 14 times, or you have to written 1 plus 7, you have to written how many times? P minus 1, that's the 1 times. And what is the quotient of this is 3. So you have to written 2 how many times? 3 times. So 1 plus 7 plus 2 plus 2, or otherwise you can see this option is not possible. Look at the 39. 39 you can written as a 3 into 13, and 3 divides 13 minus 1, 12. You have the two again options. Either you have to written 1 39 times, or you have to written 1 plus how many times 13 you have written 2 times, and what is the quotient of this is 4. So you have to written 3 how many times? 4 times. So you can look about the options. 4 times 3, 2 times 13. A and C are my right answer of this problem. Which of the following equation can be the class equations? Okay, so look at the last option. 3 doesn't divides 5. 2 doesn't divide 5, moreover. So this option is cancelled out. Moreover, second method is 5, a group of order prime. That means it's a abelian. Once it's a abelian, the class equation is only 1 plus 1 plus 1. 4. 4 is my abelian group. So once it's a abelian group, I have to only the unique class equation, that is a 1, 1, 1. Look at this one, 8. How you can write the 8? That is a, first you can factor them, it's a PQ. Fine. So that means prime is my 2. So what is the shortcut tricks for the PQ? That means you have to return 1 how many times? P times. Fine. And how many times you have to return as a P? This will be P square minus 1 times. So look at that. How many times you have written 1 is 2 times. P square minus 1, 4 minus 1, 3. So what is the P is 2? You have to return 2 as a 3 times. So you can see the A is my right answer of this problem. There is one more method. There is one more method, that is you can count the number of the conjugate classes. I will also teach you in this lecture after the class equation how you can find the conjugate classes. So first of all, what is the shortcut tricks for you? Whenever you have the group of order P cube, then the conjugate classes are my P square plus P minus 1. So look at that. P is equal to 2. How many classes are there? 4 plus 2 minus 1. That is 5. That means group of order 8 has 5 conjugate classes. What is the meaning of the conjugate classes? Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 4 conjugate classes, but we need a 5. So this option cancel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this option is the right option of this question. You can also see this example. This is my 8. You can see this is how many conjugate classes. Again, this 8 is my P of Q form. So how many conjugate classes? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are the 4 conjugate classes, but we need a 5 conjugate classes. So again, this option is cancelled. Okay, look at this another one. Which of the following equations are there? So firstly, we will see, is there any number which is not divisible? 1, 2, 4 divide, 5 and 6 divides, 2 and divides, 1, 2, 4 all are divides. Count the number of the ones. That is so 4. 4 divides 12, fine. How many numbers is? 3. 3 is my prime number. So that means a cyclic. Cyclic implies abelian. Once this is a abelian, that means a unique class equation is 1, 1, 1, 1, 12 times. So first option is cancel out. How many ones are there? 2. 2 divides 30. That is 15, which is not a prime number. Can it be a cyclic? You can see I can return 3 into 5, and you can see 3 doesn't divide 4. That means a group of order 15 is my cyclic. Once this is my cyclic, that means the group G is my abelian. Once this is my abelian, that means the answer is only 1 plus 1 plus 1 up to 30 times. Look at the third option, 4. What is the 4? 4 is my p square, and every group of order 4 is my abelian. So that option is also cancelled because the class equation is only 1, 1, 1. So the only left option is my D, which is the right answer of this problem. If you want to check how, you can see I can write this is 2 raised power 4, but I have not taught you how you can write as a 2 raised power n class equation. Then you can see group of order 16. Fine. Can you find any of the other group whose order is also 16? D of 8, because what is the group of the Dn? 2 of n. Fine. That means group G is isomorphic to the D of 8. Now can you find the class equation of the D of 8? That means 2 into 8, that 2 is my even number. Fine. So I can use the formula for the Dn of 2n when n is my even number. How you can use? 1 plus 1 plus n over 2, n over 2 plus how many times you will repeat it as a 2? That means if 2 divides n minus 2, whatever the quotient you have obtained, that is the repeated term. So look at that. So what is the answer is 1. N over 2 is my 8. 8 over 2 is my 4. 1 plus 4 plus 4. What is the answer of this? 2, 8 minus 2, 6. What is the question is? 3. So you have to return 2 how many times? 3 times. You can see this is the same formula. So the right answer of this problem is D is my correct answer. Which of the following is the class equation of the 8? So again, 8 is my 2 raised power cube. So P is my 2. I have to return 1 how many times? 2 times. And how many times 2 is? P square minus 1. 4 minus 1, 3 times. So yes, the first option is correct. 10. 10 I can written as a 2 into 5, and 2 divides the 4. So you have the two equations, two class equation, 1, 1, 1 up to the 10 times. And second one is 1. 5 you have written as a 2 minus 1, that's a 5 times. And how many times you have to repeat? 2 divided by 4 is my 2. 2 times you have to written as a 2. So this is 1 plus 5 correct. 10 times 1, 1, 1 also correct. 12. How you can write as a 12? First of all is a 2 square into 3. So but it's a 2 square into 3. There is no formula for that. So can you find the any of the group of order 12? This is my D of 6. Fine. D of 6 is fine. Yes, it's a 2 of n. So can you write the D of 6? D of 6 is my 2 into n. Fine. Here n is my, sorry, 2 into 6. N is my 6, which is even number. So again, I can use as 1 plus 1 plus, oh sorry, yes, 1 plus 1 plus n over 2. That is a 3 plus 3. And 2 divides n minus 6 minus 2, 4. So you have to return 2 how many times? 2 times. So it is not satisfied. But can you think about the any other group? This is the one group I have taken. Another group is A of 24. 24 means 4. It is also possible. Fine. So I can think what is the order of the, this is all knows that n factorial over 2, that is 24 over 2, 12. So what is the class equation of the, this is the class equation of the order of 12. So yes, this is the, all are my right answer of this problem. Which of the following equation is the class equation of order 10? You can see that it's a June 2023. Can you solve this quickly in the 10 second? Let's say discard the option. 2 divides 10, 3 doesn't divides 10. Option cancel. Number of the ones, 3. 3 doesn't divides 10. Number of the twos, number of the 1, 2. 2 divides 10, fine. It is my 5. 5 is my prime. That means cyclic, that it means it's abelian. Once is a billion, that means it's a unique group. So that means only the 111 is the right answer. So that means only left one is A is my correct answer. How many seconds you are needed? So I hope you have understood the way I have solving them. Second method is you can write the factor of the 10, 2 into 5 and 2 divides 4. That means you have the two options, either 111 how many times, 10 times, and another way is 1 how many times you have written 5 is 1 times, and the quotient is my 2, you have written 2 as a 2 times. So you can see 1 plus 5 plus 2 2, but they are not given. So the answer is A is my only correct answer. Okay, which of the following are the possible cases? So you can see the first option is cancel because 3 doesn't divide 4. Also, you can see 4 is my p square form, which is a billion. So the only class equation will be 1 plus 1 plus 1. Look at that 22. 22 I can written as a 2 into 11 and 2 divides 11 minus 1, 10. Fine, it's a 5. So I can written as 1. 11 I can written as a 1 times and 2 I can written as a 5 times. So look at the option. Is it satisfied? Yes. 11 1 times, 2 as a 5 times. Look at this 35. I can factorize them. 35 is 5 into 7 and 5 doesn't divide 6. So that means this group is my cyclic. If it is cyclic, that means this is my abelian. If it is abelian, then only class equation will be 1 1 1 up to 35 times. 21. 21 I can written as a 3 into 7 and 3 divides 6. So the class equation will be either 1 plus 1 plus 1 or 1 7. How many times you will written? 3 minus 1 2 times. And what will be the quotient of this? 2. I can written this 3 how many times? 2 times. So 3 I have written as a 2 times. So yes, this option is also correct. B and D are my correct equations. Okay, pick the class equations for the S4. What is the group of the S4? 4 factorial, that is 24. Now clearly say 5 doesn't divide 24. Moreover, 9 doesn't divide 24. First option cancel. Second option, 1 divides 24, 6 divides 24, 8 all are divided. 5 doesn't divide 24. Again 5 doesn't divide 24. So this option is also cancelled. The only correct option which is left behind is B is my right answer of this problem. So you can see it's a very simple approach as I told. Now, before I move on the conjugate class, let me quickly give you, let's say, can you find the conjugate class of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? What are the class equation? Let me see how many seconds you are needed to find the class equation. 1 is a 1. 2 is my abelian. If it is abelian, the class equation is only 1 plus 1. 3 is a prime number, it's a abelian. 1 plus 1 plus 1. It's a abelian. Only 1 plus 1 plus 1. 5 is also the abelian. That is a 1 plus 1. How many times? 5 times. 6. 6 is not abelian, so I can write as a 2 into 3 and 2 divides. So you have the two groups. Either all are my 1 plus 1 plus 1 4, or I have to written 1. 3 I have to written as a 1 times, and the quotient is my 1. So that means this is my S3. 7 is my prime number, so it's abelian. The class equation will be 1 plus 1 plus 1. 8 I can written as a 2 into cube. So the class equation will be 1 plus 1 how many times? P times, and how many times you have to written as a 2? P square minus 1 time. So that means 2 plus 2 plus 2. 9 is my 3 into square. So it's again in the form of the P square, which is my abelian. So that's again 1 plus 1 plus 1, 9 times. 10 I can written as a 2 into 5. So 2 into 5 and 2 divides 4. You have the two choices, 1 plus 1 plus 1 up to the 10 times. And second is 1. 5 I can written as a 1, and the quotient of this is my 2. I have written twice as a 2 times. Similarly, you can write as a group of 11. 11 is a prime number, so it's a 1 plus 1, and so on. Now, the second type, how you can find the conjugate classes. Very simple. First of all, if you look about the what is the order of the this, it's a 6 factorial. 720 is a very large number. Then it's a very difficult. You can write as a class equation. Fine. But before I can start with the conjugate classes, make sure student, my objective whenever you are watching my videos, the tricks explained by me in each of the video will not only help you to get the answer in the less time, but also improve your thought process, how you can attempt your question in the examination. Make sure student, whenever you are watching my videos, you can watch the videos always with the positive thinking. Ignore all those negative thoughts in your minds. Always think about the positive sense, and then these videos will be helpful for you. Once you are watching my videos in the positive sense, then your thought process will definitely be very high, and you will get a full confidence. You will get solve the each question in a less time. Very tricky question, you can solve it in a simple manner, and you are more stronger before going to the examination. Let me know in the comment box whether your thought process are increased or not in my through my videos. Now, how you can solve the conjugate classes. So let me quickly uh, give you, but before that, kindly like, share and comment on the videos. Please share and comments on the videos as well. Don't forget to like them. You can find the conjugate classes. So there are the two methods. Fine. There are the two methods to find the conjugate classes. The first method is you can write the class equations. How you can write the class equation that I told you. That means if you write the class equation corresponding to 10, you can divide them, and 2 divides 5 and then solve. And once you can write the class equation of the 10, for example, I have written this. This is the corresponding class equation of the 6. So what is the conjugate classes? 1, 2, 3. So there are the 3 conjugate classes. Fine. So if I say in this example, how many class equations, conjugate classes of the 22? You can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are the 7 conjugate classes of the 22. How many conjugate classes of the 21? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 conjugate classes of the 21. Anyhow, I will tell you how you can find the second method. This is the first method. Second method is you can directly use the formulas. How you can find the conjugate classes. Again, if in your mind this big question mark appears, how you can remember that? You can look at this. It's a smiling face. That means it's a very simple. I will teach you a very simple manner. How? Look at that. As we have find the class equations of these PQ, then the number of the conjugate classes is this number P plus how many times? P square minus 1. These are the conjugate classes of the PQ. So can you find the conjugate classes of the group 8? 8 is written as a 2 cube. So P is my 2. So once P is my 2, I can substitute here P square. 4 plus 2 minus 1, 5. Can you find the conjugate classes of the 27? 27 is my 3 cube. So that means P is equal to 3. I can substitute here. It will be 9 plus 3 minus 1. So that will be 11. And so on. Second method. Because I have already explained all of these things. What is a non-abelian group? That means if P divides Q minus 1. Very simple, as I told you. How you can write these equations? So that will be, if you write the class equation, that's fine. Otherwise, you can write the directly as P plus 3 over 2. Again, you can see if D of n, what is the order of the Dn is? 2 into n. If n is my odd, again, it's the same case. The conjugate classes remain same for the Dn as well. If it is a non-abelian group, that means if order is my PQ and P divides Q minus 1, where P is less than Q and the primes, then you can write the class equations as P plus Q minus 1 P. How you can write it directly? You can see whatever the quotient you have obtained, that will be my this number and the P of this point. If it is an even number, you can write as a n plus 6 divided by 2. And if it is a even, if it is a abelian, it's always the unique class equation. So once it's a unique class equation, the conjugate classes is my 1. And the last case is when you have the Sn group, then the partition of the n is my conjugate classes. So now you can see about this shortcut ways, because you can see group of the S6. What is the order of the S6 is 6 factorial. That means 720. So it is not an possible task, easy target for you. You can write in the class equation. Then we will look about the conjugate classes of the 6 by using this formula, partition of the 6. So what is the partition of the 6? We all know the partition of the 6 is my 11. Fine. You can see it's a 6, it's a 5 plus 1, it's a 4 plus 2, it's a 4 plus 1 plus 1, it's a 3 plus 3, it's a 3 plus 2 plus 1, then 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and so on. You can write as a 11 partitions. What are the conjugate classes of the D17? The first method, because Dn, n is my odd, fine, the conjugate classes is my n plus 3 over 2. Fine. If n is my odd, then the conjugate classes is n plus 3 over 2. That means 17 plus 3, 20 over 2 is my 10. Fine. Otherwise, the second method is you can write the class equations. What is the group of order 17? It is 34. So how you can write that? It will be 1 and 2 divides 16. Fine. So you can write it 1 plus how many times 17 you can return? Only 1 times. What is the quotient is? 8. So you have to return 2 how many times? 8 times. So what is the equation of this? This is 8. This is 1 and 1. So how many total? 10. So that class equations is my 10 is the right answer. Conjugate classes for the D4. So what is the conjugate classes? When n is my even. So when n is even, it will be n plus 6 over 2. So n is 4, 4 plus 6 over 2, that will be 5. Again, second method is if you want to write the class equation of the D4, what is the order of this? It is 8, 2 into 4. So and 2 divides 4 minus 1. 2 doesn't divide 4 minus 1. Fine. So you can write the class equation. Sorry, it is not a prime number. 8 is not a prime number. Fine. Or otherwise, it's a 4. 4 is my even number. So how you can write this is 1 plus 1 plus n over 2, n over 2. Fine. Plus how many times you have written is 2 times 2 divides n minus 1 is the quotient. So 2 divides 4 minus 2, that's a 1. So you have to return 2 as a 1 times. So 1 plus 1, n is 4, n is 4, n is 4. So how many classes? 5 classes. Again, the answer is 5. Number of the conjugate classes of the A4. So as I told you, it is already a 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. These are the class equations. How many conjugate classes? 4 conjugate classes of this answers. Number of the conjugate classes of the Q8. Q8. Can you find the conjugate classes of the Q8? You all know Q8. Order is my 8. It is isomorphic to the D4 also. So what is the order of the conjugate classes of the D4? It's an even number, n plus 6 over 2. So 4 plus 6 over 2, that will be 10. 10 over 2, that's a 5. Fine. Second method, you can see what are the conjugate classes of 8. Identity 1, identity minus 1, or I minus I. Second pair is J minus J and K minus K. These are the conjugate classes. How many conjugate classes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, you can see 5 is the right answer. Because you can see these are the isomorphic groups. The number of the conjugate classes of the non-abelian group of 125. 125 is 5 cube, and you can see P is my prime. So you have the two methods. The first method is you have to write the class equation. Second method is you can write it directly. So what is the class? What is the conjugate classes for the PQ form? P square plus P minus 1. So P is my 5, 25 minus 1. That will be 25 plus 4, 29 is the right answer. Or otherwise, if you want to write as a class equation, so what is the class equation of the 125? How many times you will written as a 111? P times, P will be 5 times, and how many times you will written as a 555? That will be P square minus 1. That's a 25 minus 1, 24 times. So how many equations, how many terms will be here? 24 plus 5 is 29. So again, A is my right answer. You can use any of the method. Please don't forget to like and comment on the video. You can also support me through my efforts by liking, sharing and comment on the video. Number of the elements in the conjugate classes of the three cycles of the group S6. The order is my 6 factorial. Very simple. What is the length? What is the length of this group? So the is a R cycle. If I call as a R cycle, then whenever you have a group of the Sn, then the number of the conjugate classes is n factorial R into n minus R factorial. In this case, Sn, n will be 6, cycle is my length 3. So I can substitute this value is a 6 factorial 3 n minus 3 factorial. So that will be 6, 5, 4, 3 factorial cancel 3. So that will be 2, 10, 40. So 40 will be the right answer of this problem. Let G is a group of all those symmetrics of the squares. That will be the D4. Fine. All those symmetrics of the, that will be 2 times of the 2. Find 2 of n. So once, how many conjugate classes of the Dn when n is my even? That will be n plus 6 over 2. So what is the n? N is my 4. 4 plus 6 over 2. 5 is the right answer of this problem. Let G is the group of order, is a gate 2021, group of order 5 raised to power 4 with center, that is the order of the center is 5 raised to power 2. Then the number of the conjugate classes. I think that's a very simple again. How you can think, what is the meaning of the center? That means at 25. Fine. This is my 625. So if you want to write the class equation, what I told you the center is number of the ones. How many times it is written as a 1 is 25 times. Fine. Now since is the center is group P, P is my prime. Fine. So it means it is only my 555 times. How many times? We never know. So let's say it is alpha times. Clear? Now can you find the class equations? So can you find the value of the alpha? So I can combine them. 25. How many times is there? 5 alpha. So it will be 600. It is 25 alpha. So that means alpha will be 120. Fine. So I need a number of the conjugate classes. So that will be 120. So number of conjugate classes are 25 plus 120. So that will be my 145 is the right answer. You can see how many seconds you are needed. Hardly a 10 to 15 seconds you are needed to solve the problem. The number of the elements of the order 3, number of the elements of the order 3 in the symmetric group. So what is the order of the group? It's a 6 factorial. Fine. So now again the number of the elements of the order group 3, that is again the same. That will be 6 factorial 3 n minus 3 factorial. So that will be 6, 5, 4 over 3. So that will be 40 is again the right answer of this problem. Number of the elements in the conjugate classes of the S4. Oh, now it's a different cycle. Now you can see what is the length of this cycle. 2 into 2 is a 2 square. Fine. So what is the rule for that? Number of the elements, that's a conjugate classes, is n factorial. Fine. 2 raised to power 2 into the number L. That will be the number of the elements in the conjugate classes. So that will be 24. This will be the 4 into 2, 8. The answer is 3 is my right answer of this problem. So you can see it's a very simple approach I have told you in throughout the video. Don't forget to like and comment on the videos. Now, some another shortcut tips for the group dihedral. Always remember that Dn is a non-abelian group of order 2n. That means the group of order is 2n whenever n is greater than equal to 3. Also, the number of the elements of the order 2 is my n if n is my odd, and n plus 1 if n is my even, depending upon that. Like if you talk about the D4, here n is my even. So the number of the elements of the order 2 is 5. Number of the elements of order k, where k is not equal to 2, is my phi of k, where phi is my Euler's function. And in order to see how you can calculate the Euler function, you must watch about my number theories 2 lectures. This is the part 2 and this is the part 1. I have explained you how you can calculate the phi of k. Whenever k divides n, if you look about this order of k, then d of n is my cyclic group of order k. Fine. So whenever d of n, that's the center of, that's the order of the group, divides my, whenever k divides n, like if you want to say d of 4 and k is my 2, 2 divides 4, then it's a cyclic group of order 2. Now how you can find the cyclic subgroup of the Dn and how you can find the total number of the subgroups in the Dn. The number of the cyclic subgroup is my tau of n plus n, where n is the positive divisors. How you can find the positive divisors? Let's say it is my 12. For example, n is my 12. I can return this is my 2 square into, then the number of the positive divisors is whatever the power. It is my 2 plus 1 and the second power is 1 plus 1. So it will be 6. So the right answer of this will be 6 plus whatever the n of there. Then how you can find the number of the subgroups? The number of the subgroups are the number of the positive divisors, that's the same quantity, and the sum of the positive divisors. And how you can calculate the sum of the positive divisor? You must watch about the part 1 of the number theory. And the last concept is, as I use the order class equation, you must remember that it's the A4, A3, A5 and so on. So this is the way you can solve all these class equation in a very simple manner. I hope you can like, you have learned many shortcut tricks. Kindly put a comment on the video so that I can remember, I can see you have solved and learned the problem with the concept of wow. Don't forget to share this video with your friends. Best of luck, students. Happy learning always.